The Midnight Dance by CartoonNerd12. Chapter 3. No! Absolutely not! Rarity tromped around the ballroom that her sisters were in. But Rarity... Twilight tried to reason with her. But no! I will not! I repeat, I will not be put on display like this! I will not be some prince's prize! Same here! Rainbow flew above them. I'm with them! Pointed Pinky. You guys... We have to do what Mother says, gestured Twilight. It is, after all, our duty, Fluttershy said in a near whisper. Look, I know it's hard, said Applejack, but Twilight's right. Our mother only wants what's best for us. And I say we obey her and do as she wishes. Since when do you back off from a fight? Rainbow demanded in her face. I don't. But this is one fight that we're not up for. Mother is the ruler of all. To defy her is risky business. Realization hit Rarity. You don't think she would disinherit us? I don't know, Twilight thought. I don't think she would, but I'd rather not take that chance. Agreed, motioned Fluttershy. Oh. Tears welled in Rarity's eyes. If she had a true love at this point, she would gladly give up her crown for the sake of love. But since she didn't, all she had was her role as a princess. Oh, very well. I will submit to this arranged marriage. But I won't have to like it. One bit. Of course not. AJ wrapped her hoof around her. We all don't. Rainbow looked out into the distance of the window and remembered her and Soren's chat from that afternoon. She would never get him back now, so might as well agree to this so-called marriage. There was no hope of getting out of it. I guess, Pinky stated, unless the suitors want to leave before one of us gets chosen to be a bride, then we're all stuck where we are. Wait, Rainbow looked to her energetic sister. Go back. What did you say, Pinks? Then we're stuck on where... No, before that. I guess in the middle. Unless the suitors want to leave before one of us. That's it! She twirled in the air. What's it? All of them asked. We make the suitors leave before one of us gets chosen. Why, that's... Twilight pondered. And then she suddenly shouted out, a brilliant plan! Rainbow, you're a genius! I know. She looked smug. Wait a minute. AJ waved her hoof. How exactly are we going to make these suitors leave? Oh, we'll think of something. Rarity batted her eyelashes. We always have. We sure do, said Fluttershy. Then it's agreed. Twilight held out her hoof. We make sure that the suitors never have a chance to pick one of us. You got it. Dash put her hoof on top of Twilight's. Absolutely. Rarity put hers in next. Yay. Fluttershy did next. Okie dokie. Pinky pressed hers on. You know, Applejack put her hoof down last. This might actually work. All together now, Twilight declared as they raised their hoofs in unity. Sisters forever! They all said and went into a group hug. All right, y'all. I have to go back to the kitchen and finish those pies for dessert at dinner tonight. Oh, does that mean... Pinky leaned in. Yes, that means gooseberry pie as well, she said as she left. Yippee! Pinky jumped out of the room. Yes, I must find the right attire to wear to dinner. I'll have to get Sweetie Belle to help me, said Rarity as she went as well. So, in the meantime, Rainbow asked Twilight, we pretend we're past the problem? Precisely. Mother can never find out we're behind the suitors leaving, so absolute secrecy must be kept. They both turned towards Fluttershy, who was shaking. Oh dear, she squeaked. Relax, Flutters. You can do this. Just remember what we're fighting for. Our freedom to marry whoever we want. Yes, she stood firm. I will. For freedom! She gave a small war cry when leaving the area. She had to remind herself to thank Discord for teaching her how to give out her inner self more, and for trying to convince her to have freedom in the first place. But then she remembered what she had said that afternoon. She would have to apologize for him for pushing away. But would he ever forgive her? She would have to find out soon, as dinner was over for tonight. Applejack was humming along while using the rolling pin on the dough to flatten it. The little kitchen maid, Applebloom, was right beside her, getting ready with apple pie fillings as she noticed the princess's mood had improved since that afternoon. "Everything okay, Applejack?" "Everything okay? It's better than okay." She smiled, then put the flattened dough into the pie tin. "That's great. I noticed you were feeling down. But for you to be so happy now." "There's nothing to feel down about. Not when you have a couple of good sisters by your side. It feels like you can get through anything." "Awesome," Applebloom said as she poured in the mashed apples. Applejack folded over the next flattened piece of dough. She kept humming until a voice said, "Now what's going on in here?" Spike was by the door. "I thought you would still be upset." "There's no reason for me to be upset anymore." Then she moved him closer so Applebloom wouldn't hear them, or the rest of the kitchen staff. "Not when we got a plan to get those suitors to leave on their own before one of us is chosen." "Really?" he nearly shouted out until she shushed him. He noticed a very interesting thing as he was standing so close to her. He could smell apples off of her, and how her emerald eyes were shining and her soft blonde mane was touching his scales. It felt good. He had to resist the urge to run his claws through that soft mane. But why would he be thinking about that when he was interested in Rarity? AJ was having troubles with her own feelings of Spike being so close to her. She had to fight off the fact that she wanted to wrap her hooves around him and give him a great big hug, just to see how he would feel against her body. His green eyes looked like they were staring straight into her soul. His scales looked smooth and rough, but she bet that with one touch they would be soft and even. When Fancy Pants walked in, both of them were brought back to reality when they heard him say to the staff, "I trust the main course is ready?" "Yes, sir," replied a cook named Golden Harvest. "Good, we have an important guest coming. Princess Luna, the Queen's sister, so everything must be perfect." "It shall be the finest meal in all the land," the head chef, a griffin named Gustave Legrand, pronounced. "Ah, yes." Fancy Pants turned to see Applejack. "You best get ready, Your Majesty. It is almost time." "Shoot, I got plenty of time. Don't worry about me. And it's Applejack, Fancy. No need to get fancy about it," she snickered. "Very amusing, Princess," he smirked. "Pray tell, how are you and your sisters holding up in all of this recent predicament?" The cooks stopped what they were doing as they wanted to hear the answer to that too. AJ knew she couldn't have the staff spread the rumours around for her mother to pick up on anything that could give her a clue in the future. Answered truthfully without giving away too much information. "We had a talk and decided to accept the fact that we would have to meet suitors." This surprised Fancy. He was so sure that they would put up more of a fight than that. Especially Rarity after their chat in her suite. You have?" "Yep." "We know then, but we couldn't go against our mother, and went with it." He cleared his throat. "Yes, quite right. One certainly can't disobey the Queen. You are making the right choice." "Oh, we are," she said under her breath, and then felt a touch on her shoulder, surprised to see Spike's claw there. "Maybe you should get going now. We've got everything covered here, and you need to be there for the arrival of your aunt." "I suppose so. I'll see you around." She slowly moved away from him and gave a quick wave goodbye and the staff before going. Spike gave a small smile and waved her off. "I saw that," Applebloom said. "So what?" He turned to her, facing her at eye level. "You like her, don't you?" She gave him a small grin. "What? That's insane! She's a princess! I'm a dragon!" "That never stopped you from crushing on Rarity." He blushed furiously. How did you know?" "It was obvious, and Applejack told me at one point." "Oh, she did she?" He crossed his arms and frowned. "Yeah, and it's weird. But the way she kept talking about it was almost as if she was jealous." That intrigued him. "Jealous? Do you think she... I'm not sure, but it seems like it. Of course, I may be wrong." "Sure, maybe." "Well, it's best I get best to finish in those desserts. You know Princess Pinky loves her cupcakes." "Totally." He nodded and saw her go back to the counter, while he pondered on what Apple Bloom had just told him of Applejack possibly being jealous of Rarity having his attention. Well, in order to see if the theory was right, he might as well start doing favours for her. He went back to dinner preparations while figuring out his plan. The girls gathered in front of the dining hall's great doors. Twilight instructed them all in a hushed whisper. Remember, act like we're still upset, but cool enough to understand the importance of what must be done. They nodded and faced the doors, and 2 guards swung the doors open for them. Celestia could see the girls from her seat that was next to her sister, Luna, who she had come over sooner since the girls gave out their reactions. Now they noticed that the girls were unusually calm. She softly greeted them, knowing perfectly well that she was not going to the same happy response she had from lunch. "Hello, my daughters." "Hello, Mother," they said, bowing their heads to her, much to her surprise. "Am I to understand that you are willing to go through with it?" "Yes, Mother," they repeated, keeping their heads low. "I know I do not deserve your forgiveness, but I hope that you will see that I am doing this out of love, for your safety and welfare. We may not understand completely, but we are willing to learn." Twilight spoke on their behalf. "Thank you. Have a seat, and I promise to find suitable matches for all of you." They lifted their heads and took their usual spots at the table. "You mean we will find suitable matches? I won't be so easily swayed by a pompous prince or an uptight regent." Luna winked to the girls, to which they gave reassuring smiles to her. "Before we have dinner, I am sorry if this will spoil your appetites, but we must discuss this, since we don't have a chance at lunchtime. When the suitors do arrive, I feel it would put you more at ease knowing you were sleeping in the same bedchamber you all slept in when you were younger." "But we haven't slept in that room in a long time," gestured Twilight. "I thought it got remodelled after we moved out," said Pinkie. "Just please tell me it's been kept clean all these years," pointed out Rarity, "because I refuse to move back if there's, dirt. What if my allergies start kicking up?" "It is all right. I inspected the room just this morning and had the maids look into it if there was anything that needed cleaning. So you will be fine, my darling Rarity." The unicorn sighed in ease. When do you want us to move back in, Mother?" asked Fluttershy. "When the suitors first arrive. So, in the meantime, it would be best to look for things in your rooms to bring with you." They all gave random agreements. Then Fancy Pants trotted in, carrying a silver tray and giving a quick glance to Rarity, who turned her head away from him, since she was still upset with him. He frowned and then turned his attention back to the Queen, saying, "Dinner is ready whenever you are, Your Majesty." "Very good, Fancy Pants. You may serve it in." He put his hoof to his chest and bowed. "At once, Your Highness." He did another glance towards Rarity, but she didn't notice. However, a dark blue alicorn did. After the meal was done and the desserts demolished by Pinkie, the girls bowed their heads once more to their mother and walked out of the hall. Once the royal sisters were out of sight and earshot, Applejack asked Twilight, "You think we did good?" "I think so. She was grateful we were going along with it, but she saw the pain in our eyes all the same." "Does us moving back to our old room change anything?" asked Rainbow. "No. In fact, I think Mother just made it easier for us to get together to concoct plans to get rid of suitors. So, anyone want to come and see the room again?" The others gave yeses, but Fluttershy said, "I'll meet you there. I have to do something first." She turned to go. "Do what?" Dash eyed her. "Just something." "Fluttershy, since we're going to be swarmed with suitors," motioned Twilight, "we can't keep secrets from each other, since it's going to take all of us to get these colts out of here. Now, please, tell us what you're going to do." She sighed and explained, "I need to talk to Discord." "What?" Dash flapped. "Not that troublemaker." "You know he's my friend." "We know," Rarity admitted. "It's just we can't help but worry for you when you're around him. He is, after all, a past criminal." "Exactly. It was in the past. Now he is doing much better by helping with problems that would be too big for Mother to handle. I am very proud of him." Her eyes sparkled when she said the last part, and the sisters gave her a look. "What? Do I have something in my teeth?" No, it's just... Twilight shook her head. Never mind. Rainbow whispered to AJ. Sheesh, for a second there I thought she was crushing on the guy. Me too. Something within Fluttershy struck then. Wait! He can help us! The girls gave her a confused look and she said, Huh? With his magic! We'd be able to shoo off the suitors before you know it. That's... Rainbow was about to object until she said, Actually, not a bad idea. Yes, Rarity agreed. As uncouth as he is, he could serve a purpose for us. Wouldn't you think so, Twilight? I hate to admit it, but yes. Fluttershy, can you convince him to come and help us out? I'm sure he will, she said under her breath. That is, if he's still talking to me. She went back to telling her sisters, I'll be right back. Just go on ahead. I'll be right with you. I'll see you there. She opened her wings to flutter off to the outside. Celestia and Luna were in the throne room, going over today's events and the girls' earlier reactions to having suitors. Make no mistake, sister. They are planning something behind your back, said Luna. I am aware that they are. After all, they wouldn't be my daughters if they didn't. They were very good at hiding it, using the pain and acceptance. But they have a plan, and I intend to help them out with my own plan. Is that the real reason you wanted them back in their old room together? It is, and that's where you come in. I know it had to be more than just choosing phony husbands for my clever nieces. Which, of course, I was upset at first that you would do that to your daughters. But then, remembering... She went to a glass-stained window of Celestia and Sombra with their horns touching in love, with 6 fillies resembling the princesses below them being happy. I feel so bad for them. They could have had everything you and your husband had. I agree. We made a vow one night long ago that our daughters would find love just as we had. But now, I must break that vow before it is too late. Indeed, time grows short, and already one of your daughters has fallen in love. I would like to say that that is wonderful, but that means the danger will soon be upon us. She lowered her head in somber.